Hello, welcome to Talking Trades, a weekly podcast. We talk about comics so you don't have to. I'm Jeremy, I'm a DC fan.
And I'm John, I'm a Marvel nut.
And we are here, and we are ready to talk about whatever news there is. But John, there's no news.
There's not much. It's like a crazy, historic, poop show is going down in the USA. And that's what all the news cycle has been about.
Yeah.
But also, in the general nerd culture stuff has been largely dominated by the new consoles launching this week, the Xbox Series X and S and the PlayStation 5. So there's really...
That's right. There's nothing. Sorry, we don't know what else to say about that particular thing.
But there's not a ton going on.
It is what it is. If that's the worst thing that happens all week, it's a pretty good week, right? But unfortunately, it's not the worst.
Oh, it already is not the worst thing.
Woof. For those who are unaware of what we're talking about, the United States election just wrapped up, and I feel pretty confident in saying that Joe Biden is the new president, according to all the numbers that are...
You and everyone with actual authority.
Hey, there we go. So that's kind of sent the country into a stir for some reason, and that some reason is because we had a moronic dictator trying to tell everyone what to think and what to do, and some people unfortunately believe it.
And currently is making no indication that he's willing to accept this. Normally, candidates who have lost have conceded days ago, but that's not the case as of today, November 10th.
That is correct. Like you said, it's a poop show, but it is what it is. We don't need to talk about that. Let's talk about the little bit of This Week in Geek we have. So, John, what do you got?
This Week in Geek.
Got a couple things here. First of all, Marvel Spider-Man on PS4 and PS5 remastered. Insomniac has said that a post-launch update will let you transfer your save from Marvel Spider-Man on PS4 to Marvel Spider-Man Remastered on PS5. We don't know what that'll mean for trophies, but you can transfer your save over.
Oh no, I gotta do all of it again. I gotta play that whole game again, that really great game that I love. Oh no.
But speaking of which, the New Game Plus trophy, even on Remastered, is not part of the Platinum. It is separate. And that's what I was concerned about. That is good. Coincidentally, that is one of the trophies to Platinum Morales is New Game Plus.
Okay.
It is part of it. But that game also is apparently on the short end of 8 to 10-ish hours, but being rated extremely high. The lowest I've seen on it's an 8. And
even
that's
with
pretty
it being that short?
Yeah, because it's all killer. There's
okay.
no Mary Jane type segment. No part of it drags. It's 8 to 10 hours of just nonstop awesome.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Which I am very here for.
It's and there's also potential for additions later. Extended game, DLC, something. They could always add something later.
They could. The game is priced on the lower end of because Sony has said their first party games will be priced between $50 and $70, and Miles is priced at $50. I don't know how likely that is, but good. Absolutely could.
I don't know. I'm not a PlayStation doctor.
You're not a PlayStation doctor. Also in game news, Square Enix is reporting a $63 million loss for Marvel's Avengers.
Really?
Which is crazy.
People did not care about that game.
So part of that, I think, is when it was announced, our initial reaction, we being, at least me personally, but the games media at large, was cool, what genre is this game? What is this game?
Yeah, and people were not, even up until launch, they weren't 100% am I going to like this? Is this something I want? What is this?
Yeah, they were not clear on the messaging at all. And then after the game released, the reviews right before release were pretty positive, and I agree, the game is super sweet. The problem is there's no cross-play, which that's a gaming industry thing right now. Call of Duty this year is breaking down the barriers no, you're going to have cross-play and you're going to like it. But this game doesn't have it. Why does that matter? Because this game is very mission-based.
And if you have friends who have it on Xbox.
Exactly. You also can't jump into a lobby and just get matched with anyone on any mission. You got to go, I want to do this specific mission. And then wait for someone else to want to do that specific mission. So, and then let's say you and I wanted to play through it together. The problem is once we do missions in the main story that you can team up on, you will then have to do a solo segment So you'll have to keep rejoining and disbanding and rejoining and disbanding. It's not structured for that multiplayer component to keep people. It's not like Destiny, for example, another huge game as service, where everything can be done with multiple people. The entire game should be done in a party. Marvel's Avengers is very much a single-player game with multiplayer missions in the main line, but the matchmaking is such a nightmare
that it's not worth it.
So that's caused a dramatic drop in concurrent users, which is perfectly understandable because it's pretty obtuse to begin with. That having been said, I am super positive on the game. The game is really good, but that all contributed to why they're reporting the $63 million loss, which is pretty regrettable.
It's a big loss. I mean, they're a company that can handle it. They'll live, but man, oh man, it makes them not want to make another game.
Square Enix will, because they're raking that Final Fantasy 14 money. That game is...
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're fine.
That game is deceptively a gigantically huge popular game.
But people don't like to lose money. Even if they'll live, they don't like to lose money.
Oh, exactly.
That puts a negative spin on Avengers games in the future. Whether that's deserved or not really stinks.
That leak we reported on with all the characters they announced for, or not announced, but the leak for future characters for the game, will that be cut short? Will they bring all those characters over? So, or will they just, like, since nothing's been announced, will they stop after, like, 6? Like, we don't know. But we know some more about WandaVision.
Ooh.
There's a big spread, and I want to say Entertainment Weekly, but I didn't read it because I don't like spoilers. But a couple things that were pretty much assumed that are now confirmed for the series are, 1, it takes place after Avengers Endgame. That is confirmed. And 2, it will directly set up Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, snap. Let's go.
Both pretty much assumed, but now they're confirmed.
I'm very into that.
I'm very into that too. I believe it's still set for 2020, but that could easily slip. Regardless, I'm super, super excited.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And
I think I'm just... Yes.
They need to have that, like, consistent, clear...
Myself and probably the public in general is just so hungry for MCU content.
Oh, yeah.
This is the longest we've been without it. And granted, if you're going to just stop, that was the right point. You know what I mean? Like, there's no cliffhanger to be resolved. Well, no major cliffhanger to be resolved, because the cliffhanger, I guess, is the end of Spider-Man Far From Home. Even then, like, you'll live.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Cliffhangers. Netflix revealed, just put out some marketing stuff for Umbrella Academy Season 3. No dates. Primarily the logo, which is like a numeral 3 with the umbrella cresting the top of it. And then some just shots of the cast, just like kind of Brady Bunch style 3x3 grid. Notably, everyone seems to be in an Academy uniform. Even Ben. I'm very excited.
Interesting. I mean, I'm just down for more of that show.
Oh, me too, man. Me too. Especially because it's going to like a new direction. But I super want to see what that direction is.
Yeah, this is going to be completely original at this point. They could pull from some old things, but like it's going to be mostly original.
Absolutely. And I'm very excited. Like we said, there wasn't a ton of news.
Nope, it's a pretty light week.
It was like earth-shattering, but like, hey.
Sometimes you need a light week, you know?
Yeah. Let me know when that happens. I'm glad to get the WandaVision confirmations, if nothing else.
Absolutely. That's exciting to me. So we get to jump right into the book?
Yes.
Let's jump right into Blossom 666.
The beach. Yeah, that was miserable.
I'm leaving it in.
Here's your pull list.
This week on the podcast, we continue Spookvember by reading Blossom 666, Volume 1. I think this might be the only volume.
Volume final, yeah, that's it.
Cullen Bunn and Laura Braga are our main creators. Written by Cullen Bunn, art by Laura Braga, art also by Matt Herms and Jack Morelli. Now, this is a book about the Blossom twins, or should I say, the Blossom siblings, because we learned some new stuff about the Blossoms in this book, and we learned some things about the Blossoms that I could have lived without, like that they are
almost all of it.
Yeah, my God, this book it's interesting. I enjoyed the book a lot. It opens up with the pretty normal scene, in Riverdale, a dead body, bleeding out, or blood coming out of the body more. It says truth or dare. And then we write in Riverdale, right in the high school. And that's, pretty normal for Riverdale. A lot of murder in Riverdale. What's that? It's not normal. Riverdale is usually a pretty wholesome thing, except for that one show called Riverdale. Fantastic. Good to know. Wow, this book is bloody. Were you expecting that?
I honestly don't know what I was expecting.
I was expecting to have fun.
I was just based on the description of like one of the Blossom twins could be the Antichrist. I'm like, let's go. That sounds like a fun ride. And I didn't know what to expect beyond that.
So John is exactly right. We didn't know what to expect, and one of the Blossom might be the Antichrist. The book opens up with the two Blossom siblings, Cheryl and Jason, helping out those that they normally wouldn't. Cheryl saves Dilton. Hey, our boy Dilton's back. Cheryl helps Dilton out from being verbally and potentially physically attacked by Reggie. She's like, hey, Dilton, stand up for yourself. I'm like, you're cool. I'm like, come on. You're coming to my party tonight, right? And he's like, am I? It's like, yes, of course you are. Come on. And Jughead's like, hey, why was I invited to this party? That's weird. All right, well, I got to go to class. And he's getting yelled at by Miss Grundy. And Miss Grundy's like, hey, Jughead, if this was the first excuse, hell, if this was the sixth excuse, I'd probably let it go. But I'm so sick of all of the excuses. And now you're telling me that your computer froze last second and it deleted all your work. And it's so hard to believe at this point, Jughead. He's like, please, I need this grade. It's like half of the grade.
In comes Jason Blossom, his knight in shining red armor, and is like, listen, Ms. Grundy, Jughead showed me his paper. He wrote it. And I mean, if I was like a nice educator that everyone loved and I definitely don't want to sleep with, but like maybe do, I would definitely give it to him. And she's like, okay, Jughead, you can have it till Monday.
Which like, no, stop. He leaves an apple on her desk, a crimson red apple. And Jughead's like, hey, so why did you lie for me? Like, what's that about? And he's like, oh, come on. Like, we're cool. Like, let's just say you owe me. He's like, you just come to the party tonight. Come on. I'll have fun. And Jughead's like, okay, whatever. And then the Blossoms meet up and they're like, hey, so how's your day? Oh, it's good. I did things, productive. And that's nice. And they go about their normal stuff, driving home, like grabbing a snack when they enter their bajillion-dollar mansion, normal kid things. They see no one's around. And Jason's like, oh, where's everybody? And she goes, oh, come on. Don't be so dense. You know exactly where they are. He's like, oh, right. And they go down to the basement and they see their parents doing a satanic ritual, as you do,
as they do.
And there's them and a bunch of other druidic people in like cloaks and let our blood nourish you, let our flesh become your flesh. It all belongs to you.
Mom, hi, Dad.
Like just so normal, like oh hey, Dad's doing the crossword puzzle and Mom's in the garden, like that level of normalcy for satanic cult. Okay, I guess. Not my bag of tea.
This whole book, I've never seen it, but this whole book gave me huge Cruel Intentions vibes.
What's Cruel Intentions?
For like no reason. So I haven't seen it, but my understanding is it's about two siblings. I think in that movie it might be their like step siblings, but it's from like the very early 2000s. Live in a gigantic house like this. And they just want to like corrupt people.
What?
And just manipulate everyone. And that's the vibe I got from this whole book without having actually read Cruel Intentions.
It's a book?
Or seen.
Oh, okay.
No, well,
okay.
I know it's based on a French film. I don't know if that's also based on a book.
Oh, okay. That's all you had to say. I would just open with it's a French film. And they go, oh, it's weird.
It's based on Cruel Intentions is the American version of it.
Cruel Intentions is a 1999 American teen romantic drama.
I was wrong.
It's from the film adaptation of the novel Les Liaisons, Dangerous Liaison, Dangerous whatever.
Arrested Development parodied that by calling it Dangerous Cousins.
Yeah, that's basically what it looks like it is. Stepbrother, blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is the thing from, what's it called? From Not Another Teen Movie. Like, they want to...
Yeah, it's one of three movies parodied Not a Teen Movie that I have not seen.
Okay.
I've seen pretty much everything else from that movie. I haven't seen Cruel Intentions, I haven't seen Varsity Blues, and I haven't seen Powder. But I am definitely not going to watch Powder.
So what's fun is, don't watch Powder. So what's fun is, if you look at the plot on Wikipedia, it's not like, here's what happens. It's like, beat for beat, the exact thing.
But like, I wasn't off base with my reading.
No, absolutely.
Because like Jason and Cheryl, they're
weird,
like, kind of flirty with each other. They're like competitive flirty with each other.
But like, competitive should be the end of that statement when it's a brother and a sister.
Oh, wait,
right? I mean, that's weird.
Yeah, there's way more like sexual tension than is remotely appropriate.
Speaking of sexual tension, they host a pool party. And they get everyone. And this was just like, oh my God, is this body shots thing? I was just waiting for Cheryl to yell body shots. She doesn't, but like she wanted to. Like,
what if this like also happened at the same time as Vampironic?
It doesn't say that it doesn't, so
yeah, you could definitely have it work.
You could have a shared universe. It all works out. So the siblings are there, and they see the people that they asked to be there, Jughead and Dilton, and they're having fun.
Jughead is not there.
Oh, Jughead's not there, right? Thank you. They're pushing some boundaries. You know, they play Truth or Dare with a bunch of people, and the questions and the things they ask them to do are not like Truth or Dare in itself is a game of, you know, boundaries and things like that. But this game pushes people past their limit, or is attempting to.
Well, everything they ask of everyone is pinpointedly malicious.
Yes, and to the point where Betty storms off. And I go, oh, well, I guess that's ruined. And Jason starts looking for Jughead, finds out he's not there, and he's like, oh, this is bad. And then he finds...
Well, he just realizes, like, because he talks to Archie, he's like, yeah, no, he's probably going to be here. Something about he had, like, a paper to write. Jason's like, well, that backfired.
Yeah, and he finds a girl named Ethel. And he goes and he says, and bingo was her name-o, is what he says when he like eyes her up from across the party. At the same time, Cheryl is taking Dilton out into the forest. And she takes Dilton out to where deep into the forest, and she's leading him there, and she gives Dilton a knife and says, hey, here you go. And Reggie Mantle, the guy who was tormenting him earlier, is tied up to a tree with a pentagram drawn around him. And she just goes, I dare you. The next issue opens up with Dilton washing his hands, implying that he killed Reggie Mantle. Not implying, he did. He killed Reggie Mantle. The next day, they're just having a normal day. You know, the Blossom twins, the weirdos that they are. But someone's approaching town. We don't know who that is yet. Now, John, when you're reading this, did you have any guesses as to who that might be?
No clue.
I thought it was going to be Reggie Mantle, like brought back from the dead. I don't know
okay.
where, like how that would work, but like because he's coming from way outside Riverdale. I don't know. I was like, oh, maybe.
Yeah, I had no clue. I thought maybe someone from Sabrina-ish.
Oh, that could have worked.
Maybe because Greendale isn't super far from Riverdale,
and it's a spooky book, so it would make sense.
Yeah,
that would make sense too. Anyway, we have the next day, Reggie's not in school and Ethel's not in school, and it's very strange. And Dilton's acting very strange, and he needs to leave class to go throw up, and that's very strange. And what's going on? And Betty goes up to Dilton's like, hey, are you okay? He's like, yeah, no, I'm good. Just stay away from me because it's not safe. And Betty's like, what are you talking about? And Cheryl interrupts by staring across the hallway. Betty notices this, and by the time she turns around to talk to Dilton again, he's run off. Something's going on between Cheryl Blossom and Dilton, Betty thinks.
And then Cheryl to Jason just says, Betty might be a problem. We might have to deal with a problem.
Jason is thinking, yeah, well, we could deal with her. And, she's a problem, but speaking of problems, the cops are here. And they talk to the officer, and the officer's like, oh, yeah, did you guys see Reggie? That's crazy. We saw him here, but they left. Like, oh, that's crazy. All right, well, hail Satan. And he walks off. Like, oh, okay. So, like, he's in on this, too. Like, the cops are in on this. Like,
in his defense, he says, I pledge my body and soul, my undying obedience to the dark divinity, to my infernal master.
Right. Sorry, I paraphrased a little bit. But yes.
Not Satan per se.
That's true. Not exactly Satan. That's very true. Good to know. And he walks off. They're like, okay, so we're fine. We're good to go. But as they
also tell the sheriff to hey, maybe check in on Dilton Doily.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like he and Reggie had an altercation. Maybe that could be a motive. I don't know.
They talk as they're talking and getting their plan set up. Because remember, they are competing to the Antichrist. When they talk we briefly passed over their parents doing the satanic ritual, but they are confirmed. One of them is the Antichrist, according to their parents, and they're competing to see who it's going to be.
Yep. A blossom child is the Antichrist.
So they are working on their plans, and as they're working on their plans, Betty is talking to Veronica, Jughead, and Archie about, hey, something's going on with Cheryl Blossom. I don't know what it is, but I feel bad. And as they're talking, somebody else walks through town, and this person, it's very noted, has very, very red eyebrows. And the only people who have eyebrows this red are the Blossoms. Even Archie, who has red hair,
fire truck red.
But even Archie, who has red hair, has black eyebrows. So it's like, the Blossoms. So I thought this was Jason Blossom. I was like, what? How is he here all of a sudden? It was not Jason. We'll get there. Betty, fed up with her friends not necessarily believing her theories and her ideas, goes into the woods to check, just to see what she can find. And when I say the woods, I mean the woods near Blossom Mansion. And she finds Ethel, and Ethel is talking crazy, and she's not making any sense. She's, will I be forgiven? Well, he talked me into it. I didn't know what I was doing. He made me do it. He made me pray that thing into life. And when she sees Betty, she continues her ranting, but she turns and she falls into Betty's arms and is screaming, will I be forgiven? I made it. I made that thing in the cave. I'm so sorry. And Betty says, okay, you're okay. Let me go look in the cave. And in the cave, they find a statue of, if you've seen the statue of Baphomet, it's reminiscent of that, but with a different headpiece. Sitting on a throne with like a blanket covering their legs, wings, pentagram behind them, horns, a skull, and 3 tongues coming out of the skull. Very grotesque. Blood everywhere. And Betty, this is proving that Betty is going to be a problem. The Blossoms continue to discuss Betty. What are we going to do about her? We could turn her, because if we turn her to the dark side, like you do, that would be the ultimate corruption, because you're turning the ultimate good evil. That if one of us could do that, that would make us the Antichrist. And a voice behind them says, I like it. Count me in. And they say, whoa. Some stranger is just walking into the house, but who looks very Blossom-esque. Crimson red hair and crimson eyebrows, says, like, who are you? And he says, oh, Mom and Dad didn't tell you about me? Jason, Cheryl, it's me, Julian Blossom, your older brother, and the true heir to the infernal throne.
This was the plot twist that before I opened the book, I assumed.
Did you really?
I assumed there would just be, I assumed there'd be like just another sibling that no one knew of who was going to be the actual Antichrist. But from there, I was proven wrong, because I thought that was going to happen, but then Jason and Cheryl would team up to defeat him or her, whoever it may be. But that was not where this book went necessarily.
I honestly thought it was going to be a competition the whole book, but chapter 3 opens up with how this happened. When the triplets were born, one of them, the firstborn, Julian, was whisked away by a secret cult society, taken away. And they never delve into his actual backstory, but we'll talk about it in a little bit. The other two,
you really just see that the Cheryl and Jason are being brought up in like a very warm family with everything provided for them, but Julian was made to struggle and did not have anything close to a happy childhood. Is pretty much all that you get for his backstory.
The other two were raised in silver spoon privilege, I would say. And they're very confused. Like, what the hell, Mom and Dad?
Have you seen the Pembroke?
Yeah. What the hell, Mom and Dad? We have another one? There's another brother? And like, oh, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Sorry, we didn't know that like he was going to come back. We had no idea. And, they're like, oh, okay, well, this sucks. And like, well, don't worry. Like, one of the three of you is the Antichrist, so it's all going to work out. It's all going to be okay. And we're just so proud of all three of you. We love you so much. Hail Satan. And Julian's like, that's great. Now that we're all on the same page. Who's this Betty chick? And that's not good for the other two. It's not good for Betty either. We then cut to Riverdale High, and everybody's out of school. You got like 4 total kids there.
Yeah, over the course of the book, attendance has been dwindling. Now 4 occupied desks.
And Betty is one of the people missing. And so Archie, Veronica, and Jughead like, hey, maybe we were wrong to like kind of dismiss Betty's theory. Maybe something is going on. We should look into this. And Veronica's like, well, yeah, I guess. And Archie, you should go check on Betty, Veronica, because you're your best friend. She's like, fine, but if she's sick and I get sick, I'm kicking your butt. And Cheryl's like, hey, Veronica, can we talk? She wants to talk, alone with Veronica, because how are you going to manipulate somebody if there's other people around to talk sense?
You're not.
Betty goes to Dilton's house to see how Dilton's doing. She can't talk to him, though. He's a little busy being arrested for murder. So he got totally arrested for the murder of Reggie Mantle. Cheryl and Veronica talk, and she's like, I think Betty's been manipulating you. Veronica's like, what are you talking about? Betty doesn't do that. She doesn't have a manipulative bone in her body. But why would she do that? She's like, well, because she wants what you have. She wants Archie all to herself. She doesn't want you to be with him.
I know you want to believe that. That's what Betty wants you to believe too. But take it from the queen of manipulation.
She is
like,
oh my
God.
I believe it said in the Bible that like the devil tells you that he's the devil, tells you he's screwing you over, and people still go with him. Similar. She tells you that she's lying. She tells you not to trust her, but Veronica trusts her. So who's the bad guy here? Still Cheryl, for sure.
Still Cheryl. Like Cheryl's the queen of bad in Riverdale. Like still Cheryl, but
100%. Veronica now has the seed of doubt in her mind about Betty and about Archie. What's she going to do? We then cut back to Betty talking with Ethel. She's like, Ethel's having these recurring dreams of that thing that she made, according to her, killing her. And she's, I can't tell you what's going on, Betty. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. But it's like, you can trust. I'm not going to, I don't want you to get hurt. Like, I'm not going to get hurt. I'm an adult. It's like, or she's like 12 or 17 or I don't know, same age. It all sucks. Once you get to like certain age, it all looks like just all the crayon colors mashed together. Like all the ages are the same. You know what I mean? That's where I feel like I'm at. You're either my age, you're older than me, or you're younger than me. I don't care about the actual number. I don't like any of it. I don't know, man. I'm tired.
I get that.
It's not the most coherent rambling I've done on this podcast, but it won't be the last either. And that's my solemn promise.
Coherent podcasts are not why you would be listening to this piece of content.
I don't know why you listen, but hey, I appreciate you. Anyway, after enough prying and convincing, Ethel's like, fine. If you want to go and find some information, go look up the Order of Abaddon. Abaddon. Go look that up in the library, and that's all I can tell you. And Betty's like, fine, I'm going to go do that. When Betty leaves, Jason comes out and is like, good, you did so good. Ethel's like, I am worried that she's going to get hurt. And he goes, oh, but it's pleasing me. And you know that pleasing me is the important thing right now. And he literally has a scene or a panel where he just has the devil horn dark, and it's really cool.
Yeah. The art's great.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. The art is beautiful in this book. At the Riverdale Public Library, Betty is looking up the Book of Abaddon and Order of Abaddon, and she finds out her parents are in this strange order. What is this strange order? It's definitely satanic in nature, but this is crazy. What's she going to do? She goes and asks the librarian, and the librarian's no help. But there is somebody who will help her. Julian Blossom. But she doesn't know that's Julian Blossom. She just sees this beautiful redhead. But like, I feel like if you turn around and you've never met this person in your life, but they look like Julian does, you're going to go, oh, you're Blossom. Like, y'all.
I think my initial reaction would be like, hair. Jason, is that you?
Yeah, or that.
First reaction.
Yeah. No, I'm not Jason. You're Julian. Oh, okay, so you're Jason's brother. Oh, no. Well, yeah, you clearly are. But Julian.
Shut up. You're Jason's brother.
You're Jason's brother. But Julian's like, oh, we can look at this together. This is where we get a little bit of Julian's backstory, that life sucked for him, and that's why he needs to be the Antichrist. He needs to take over. So he continues to work with Betty.
His angle is he asked Betty if she wants to help him take down Cheryl and Jason.
And Betty's like, yeah, I would love that. They continue to do their research.
Poop, yeah, I do.
And they're not finding much. And then we cut over to Cheryl and Jason, and they're talking about how, they need to put a pause in their competition to stop Julian, because Julian's going after Betty and they know it. And that's bad, because it means they could lose. And, they talk about, in the movies, like we have to put so much work in to be the Antichrist, but in the movies, the Antichrist just thinks bad things and then they happen, right? That's crazy. As they say this, they're almost killed by a car accident from a freak accident. Oh my God, that's so weird.
Yeah, the freak accident is a bee gets inside the car, stings the driver, and the brakes aren't working. Like, freak accident. Like, Final Destination level.
He literally yells, oh no, the brakes! But they're like, oh, okay, so we need to pause our fight to take down Julian. And he's like, Jason's like, fine, I agree. After that car accident, I agree. We do need to pause. And Cheryl goes, it's cool. Just so you know, though, some of the stuff that I did might have consequences. I don't know. As she says that, one of the things that has consequences starts to happen, where Veronica comes over and, like, I don't know, I think it's leather? With, like, alcohol?
Yeah.
They're, like, 17.
Yeah.
Ignoring my rant previously that they're all the same age and all the crayon colors, they're like 17.
Yeah.
Ugh. I wish that Riverdale had been Riverdale Community College. You know what I mean? Like they're so younger.
Yeah, I
but
do
like,
know what you mean.
It feels a lot less dirty. Like,
Right, because then there's like this pool scene coming up with Cheryl and Jason, and you're just like, they're 17.
Yeah. Anyway, Veronica and Archie start to do, boyfriend girlfriend things, and they're kissing, and they're gonna go watch a scary movie. And Ethel runs into Jughead, and Ethel's like, "You gotta come with me, please. There's something in the forest. Help me." But she's smiling when she says it when he's not looking. It's creepy. I don't like it.
In the woods, out near the Blossom Estate.
Ooh. At the same time, Betty and Julian are hanging out in Betty's bedroom. That's weird. She barely knows the guy. And they're talking back and forth like, "Oh, what do you think's going to happen? How can we stop Cheryl and Jason?" He's like, "They took everything from me." It's like, "That's weird. Who are you?" Like, this is where the book kind of starts to
what's
fall
your
apart.
deal again?
The book starts to fall apart a little bit here because like Betty is smarter than that. Like, she wouldn't like not follow up on that stuff. She wouldn't just like let that go.
I agree. She's a much better sleuth than this book sets her out to be.
And he's like, "Well, they're so manipulative, Betty. They're so manipulative." She's like, "You're right. I need to go warn Archie and Veronica." And she goes to warn Archie, and she's, "Oh, Veronica's car's here. Oh my God, they're kissing. That's crazy." And she runs off crying.
Which is the like exact flip from Vampironica.
Yeah, it's exact.
Where Veronica goes,
And that ends that issue. The next issue opens with.
Well, you forget the part where they're rattled. And Ronnie goes, "Is everything all right?" And Archie goes, "Yeah, everything's perfect. All praise Abaddon."
Yeah, because he's evil too, apparently. By the way, never gets followed up on. Chapter 5 opens up with Dilton is about to hang himself. Archie and Veronica are making out. Betty is crying on Julian's shoulder, and Jughead is with Ethel in the forest. So, like, all the threads are coming together, but most of those threads are going to end poorly.
I think this book needed at least 2 more issues.
I would agree with you. I'd agree with you. Ethel brings Jughead into the. I'm just noticing, by the way, that Jughead is like just Cole Sprouse.
Everyone's pretty much based off the Riverdale models, especially Cheryl.
Mm-hmm,
oh my God. Cheryl and the mother looks exactly like the actress as well. So
Jughead goes to the forest and sees the horrible shrine. And Ethel's like, "I brought you here for this." And he's like, "For the statue?" She's like, "No, for this." And she pulls a knife out and he's like, "You're going to kill me?" And she goes, "No, you're going to kill me." And then we get the creepy pool scene where there's another freak accident and they're both hanging out. He's wearing a Speedo and she's wearing like the itsy bitsy teeny weeny.
They're both wearing the legally least amount of clothing they have to wear.
Yeah. And the pool cleaner gets wrapped around Cheryl's leg, the vacuum for the pool, and pulls her under.
Like the wire at the bottom of the pool.
And it pulls her under, and Jason has to save her. And they're like, "You know what? Another freak accident. This is crazy. We have to stop Julian now." Ethel kills herself using Jughead.
But we're not gonna stop him by lying.
Oh yes, that's true. We have to go tell the truth. ... They go find Jughead, who is just watched Ethel die in front of him.
Yeah, because she basically approaches him. It's like, you're gonna kill me, obviously.
And she like puts the blade in between them and like pulls.
You get it.
She like pulls Jughead close, which pushes the blade into her, killing her. And Cheryl and Jason are like, "Hey, I think it's time for that favor you owe me, Jughead," Jason says. And they tell Jughead the truth. And then Jughead is going to go find Betty. But where is Betty? That's a great question. She's still with Julian. And Julian's like, "This is crazy, but I know you're sad about Veronica and Archie, but this is all Cheryl and Jason." She's like, "I don't think that's... I'm not going to fall to pieces about a boy." Which I was like, good. Betty shouldn't. She's too strong. 2, if this is a game to them, this is ridiculous, and I have to go find out more information. So I'm going to go talk to the sheriff. I'm going to go talk to Dilton. And she goes to see Dilton, but Dilton has just killed himself. He's hanging in his prison cell. She runs back out of the prison and is so upset, and Julian's trying to comfort her, and it seems like Julian's going to win. Julian's going to break her. And that's when Jughead comes out of the forest, covered in blood. And he tells them the truth. And what he tells them is that Ethel had mentioned right before she died that the creature has 3 tongues. referencing?
It's the statue in the woods, the Order of Abaddon.
Well, yes, but who are the three tongues?
The Blossom siblings. But I still don't think this landed quite as well. I think if they were to somehow combine and together be the Antichrist, this would have been better. Because they each sibling would have been a tongue. But I don't think that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll circle back. But like the way the book resolves, it just did not make a lot of sense.
So Jughead tells Betty that basically he tells Betty, "Hey, Julian is the third Blossom. He's also manipulating you." She slaps him and she runs off. She is safe. She is not being corrupted. Back at the Blossom Manor, Julian's like, "You guys are buttholes. You guys screwed that up, and I want to be the Antichrist." And they're like, "But we want to be the Antichrist, so we're going to stab you and kill you." They kill Julian. Cheryl and Jason kill Julian. And
they're like, shame, had to happen.
Shame.
Because if he's the Antichrist, we can't be the Antichrist. And they each like glare at each other.
They grip their
with
knives.
A weapon. They're like, I'm glad you see it this way. Just so we all agree.
Yeah. I thought they were going to kill each other. I really did.
Same.
But they don't. In fact, we cut back to the diner, and Jughead and Betty are like, well, what do we do now? And Cheryl and Jason walk off into their house, and they're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be the Antichrist. I'm going to be the Antichrist. Like, joking. And then the body from the beginning of the volume that's covered in blood, which I guess is Julian, sits up at the morgue. The end, question mark? It really petered out, man.
It did. Like, I think that because the book tries to pass it off like, well, we resolved it, but like, did we? But it's like, no. How would that have been a resolution to begin with if it had 3 tongues? Is the resolution, if one of them's dead, you can't have 3 tongues, so the Antichrist is averted? Is that the assumption?
I don't know.
It just didn't land well.
Not great.
Which is a shame, because like I really, really loved this ride, but like the ending just is awful.
I'm with you. It's unfortunate. It is unfortunate. Overall, I still liked the book, but yeah, it just, man, oh man, was it not?
It was
resolved.
some campy fun. Vampironica was campy fun, but like its story was coherent and had a beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah, and it concluded.
I don't feel like, like you don't. This book, I probably had more like. This was like trash, but the kind of trash I love to consume. And I was here for it, but the ending just did nothing. So that's why I'm less high on it. But
I agree.
Overall, I enjoyed my time with it, but like it just...
I agree. They can't all be perfect, but I'd still give this one like a 7 out of 10. Still entertaining. Just wish it had more time to breathe.
Same. Like I said, just like 1 or 2 issues more, and...
It's a different book. At that point, it's a different book. Well, speaking of different book, John, let's talk about what we're going to read next week. Outro. And that's the podcast this week, John. Had a good time. An unfortunate ending to an overall, I'd say, fun book.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Speaking of a fun book, next week we are finally going to delve into, for the last book of Spookvember.
Spookvember.
We're dealing with Joe Hill's masterpiece, Lock and Key, Volume 1. Welcome to Lovecraft. This is written by Joe Hill and drawn by Gabriel Rodriguez. This is also on Netflix. This is a critically acclaimed, fan-loved book about I don't know what, but I'm very excited to read it.
I've heard of the book, and everyone I know that has read the book has nothing but praise.
That's exactly where I am as well. It's also Stephen King's son,
so that's
so
really
I have trouble saying I'm not going to like it.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm trash.
I mean, this is your trash, and Cheryl Blossom was my trash.
It all works out. Spookvember is it's spooky trash. We did my trash 3 of the weeks, and your trash 1. Actually, spring is both of our trash.
Sabrina and Vampironica, like, we're both here for Vampironica.
I'm here for anything Veronica Lodge. She's my favorite. She's fantastic. Nothing against Betty, but Veronica Lodge is my favorite. And I will stand by that to the end of time.
Hands down.
So, that'll do it for the podcast this week, I think. Okay, I'll cut this part out here, but did you decide... I know we're doing the Talking Trades gala in, 3 weeks or whatever that is. Did we decide on what we're going to do food-wise?
Yeah. No, we have not submitted a final menu.
I think we should start with an appetizer. Did you have any ideas for an appetizer?
Appetizer, I was thinking like mozzarella sticks, right? Like we're not fancy.
Yeah, that's
There's no
good. That's
mozzarella
easy.
sticks.
Easy. Okay, so one decision made.
Boom.
No big ones there. I'll write that down. Mozzarella sticks for the okay. The soup. Where are we at with soup?
So I was thinking either like a baked potato.
That's not soup.
Or like a chicken noodle. Baked potato soup's a soup.
Okay, or chicken noodle. You said
it's just not
okay.
like
So which one of those do you lean?
You're right.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Easy. So we got mozzarella sticks, chicken noodle. That kind of works for our podcast too. Keep it simple. Okay. Now the entree. I was kind of thinking, letting you pick the entree as well because I liked what you had ideas for initially. So where are we at?
Entree. I was thinking like just like a steak.
Okay. Steak works. Steak's easy.
Yep. Definitely a steak or a cheeseburger.
Okay. Oh, okay. Steak or cheeseburger. Okay. Steak or cheeseburger. They both have their merits.
Steak, cheeseburger, or chicken parmesan. You're right.
Okay. So steak or cheeseburger or chicken parmesan. You said?
Yeah, like steak, cheeseburger, chicken parmesan, like fast curry or shepherd's pie.
I feel like okay.
Pretty basic.
We went from one thing to 5 things. So can you maybe read that list back to me one more time?
Yeah, steak, right? Staple. Burger. Chicken parmesan, obviously. Like a fast curry, shepherd's pie, enchiladas.
What?
Sushi.
What?
Pizza. I'm just trying to keep it simple.
No, John. That's a lot of choices.
No, that's the podcast this week. You can follow us on Twitter at Talkin' Trades. Follow Jeremy on Twitter at LizardKing27. You can find John on Twitter at Maestrolaka, Maesterlaka. And for this and other projects from Matt, please check out Facebook at Matt Speed and Music. And remember, we're not experts, we're fans.